Now, finally tonight, we return to the story of George Floyd. His death a year ago sparked outrage, of course, but it also inspired many to call for changes in policing and society, hopeful that his murder could bring about something good. Well, here in the UK, for instance, many took to the streets in protest. And some of those who came to prominence during the demonstrations here have been speaking to Raggy about the positive steps already taken and the hard work that still lies ahead.
The conversation has started, but outside of that, I would say there's no tangible change.
Patrick Hutchinson's rescue of a right-wing demonstrator during a Black Lives Matter protest was an iconic moment in how George Floyd's murder affected race and justice in the UK.
You know, are we still being disproportionately criminalised by the criminal justice system? Yes, we are. Are our children still finding it difficult to get into mainstream schools, good mainstream schools, and are they getting thrown out of schools at an alarming rate? Yes, they are. So tangible change, no, there isn't any.
Given what you saw that day, Are you taking positivity out of the future for the Black Lives Matter movement here?
When you actually come out to one of these demonstrations and you see the diversity amongst the demonstrators, especially the young, it does fill you with euphoria and joy to know that, you know, even if we don't get it right now, later on they will, because they're not standing for it.
As tragic as his death was, I think it just propelled a movement so globally massive that no one could have expected, and so many positive things have come from it.
This image of Darcy Bourne at a protest in London after George Floyd's killing captured global attention and was circulated by millions.
I knew from the moment that Martin Luther King III shared it that that photo had the power to make a difference. And I've been using that photo to really, it's inspired my ability to make change.
How have you continued your activism while studying in the US?
The issue is slightly deeper rooted there and more overt, and it's been an empowering experience to have those connections and the touches out there in America and try and spread my impact as much as possible.
I think it raised a lot of passion and it raised a lot of questions, but I just don't know how deep those questions go.
Marvin Rees is mayor of Bristol, which became the epicenter of the Black Lives Matter movement when the statue of Edward Colston was thrown into a river.
Racism is not just about people being mean and calling each other names. Right? Racism was a system of robbing people of economic and political equality. Yeah, people can call me mean names all the time. That's, you know, it's not nice. What I'm really interested in is how I can make sure that my children, you know, have every opportunity that they should have.
Pushing the message about race and racial equality in the Southwest is really difficult. I've had to really relive and retell my experiences over and over and over again just to be believed.
George Floyd's death inspired Maya Thomas into political activism in Devon, one of the least diverse parts of the country.
I do think it has allowed me to make change because it's allowed people to realise that you can have a voice and that you can fight for justice. Children in the schools that I'm working in, they have come to me and said, since you've come in, I now feel safe. I now feel that I can approach my teacher and that I will be listened to. So going into the schools and even starting these conversations about race, which weren't happening before, is really crucial, and it is making long-term change.
4 voices which capture how George Floyd's death affected Britain and is beginning to change perceptions around race and equality in our country. Raggy Omar, News at 10.